All right. People hear us? Mic'd up? All right, great. So I'm Will Corcoran. I'm the Ecosystem Project Manager at the Stacks Foundation. There's a bunch of different efforts that are underway in terms of driving forward SBTC, the Nakamoto release, Clarity WASM, things that you've probably been hearing about, and I'm a non-technical contributor to that effort. Just really try to make sure that everything is staying aligned and people are driving forward. Before that, I was the grant program manager and still have a lot to do with that space. And the fun thing about being in the grants program versus, so if the ecosystem project management is about protocol level upgrades, grant management allows you to get a lot of inbound and hear about other contributors that want to add to core protocol upgrades, but also what's next? What are the other components to the ecosystem that could be built upon? And one of those is BNS, Bitcoin Names Service. And Snazzy, I'd like to just maybe get you to introduce yourself. You're very instrumental in the BNS community, and you could maybe just give us a sense of your background and a bit about what the BNS community is all about.
Yeah.
Kind of help set the stage for the conversation.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, I've been in the sort of crypto space for several years, and I've been, I guess, sort of in the Stacks ecosystem, if you like, in the Stacks community for probably the last couple of years. So that was when I was introduced to BNS, really. As soon as I joined Stacks, I started registering my BNS names. I also have other name systems, other TLDs. So yeah, it just went from there, and then this this community emerged. This was about 12 months ago. This was October 22, and yeah, it just went. It just grew and grew, and we have about nearly 2,000 people in the community, and yeah, we have 9 council members as well, of which I myself am one of them, and yeah, and we the aim is to just sort of advance BNS. We want to further advance BNS, and yeah, but that's how it all started, and here we are.
What can you tell us about maybe where BNS started, what it does, and where you hope to take it? I know that, like, when I hear BNS, I'm will.btc, and I think .btc namespace, an on-chain identifier for the non-fungible token that represents will.btc. Like, is that the correct interpretation? Is there more to it that you hope people kind of begin to train their minds to think about when they hear BNS community?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I guess the core of it, though, and I guess the sort of the core sort of functionality of naming systems is having smart contracts, and this is obviously what we have with Stacks, with the Bitcoin L2. We have these expressive smart contracts. I think that's fundamental. Personally, I think that's fundamental to naming systems. So, obviously we have a number of different naming systems on ordinals.
There's some of the other ones like .sat,
yeah.
.id, .stx,
yeah.
a couple others, .org.
There are loads.
Yeah,
there are loads.
Lots.
Loads.
And I guess, does the BNS Council sort of advocate for or try to advance all of those, or specifically .btc, or is it namespace agnostic, or?
Yeah, BNS is very much encompasses all of the naming systems, all of the TLDs that are on stacks. So that includes .stacks, that includes .app, .id. There's quite a few now, but yeah, there's the core difference between naming systems on L2s is that, in terms of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ecosystem case, is that we have smart contracts. So that's the fundamental difference, really, and really that's kind of what constitutes a naming system, really. Is smart contracts is utility functionality that can come out of using, your Web3 identity with DeFi and dApps and things.
And so, like, what are some of the initiatives or efforts that are on the roadmap for the BNS community, or that you would like to see advance in terms of, there's all these great functionality that's being rolled out or planned to be rolled out on either Bitcoin main chain with ordinals, with stacks, or upgrades to stacks with faster blocks, SBTC. Is there anything like downstream that you see of those upgrades that you would like to see happen with BNS as a result?
So the main developments at the moment on BNS are with regards to the L2 to L1 solution.
Right.
So that's an important development for the community at the moment, because there are some in the community that would quite like BNS to be on the L1,
Right.
to transition over to Bitcoin, being called the Bitcoin name system. So obviously, we want to accommodate, the community in that sense, and we want to provide them with choice. But ultimately, BNS's future is on stacks, is on the Bitcoin L2, where there is that expressive smart contract functionality.
Right.
And so that's there are sort of two main priorities, but that's one of the priorities, is the L2 to L1 solution. The next one is the BNS V2 upgrade. So that's going to be pretty big for BNS, because at the moment we've got the BNS core contract, and that doesn't allow for a number of different things. I mean, it can't be updated for one of them, but there are things like having multiple names to an address,
Right.
which seems pretty, that's fairly fundamental, I think. I'm not too sure how it was missed the first time, but that's what will occur with BNS V2, is that we will have multiple names to an address, just like you can on ENS, basically.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you look to ENS for inspiration with some of these things? Or like I think in the console talk earlier today, they were talking about having a top-level ENS namespace that is inherent across dApps, and so it helps allow for reputation to move from application to application along with that name. Or, I don't know if there's other aspects of ENS that you've observed that you feel could be interesting to introduce to BNS.
I think BNS very much follows a similar route to ENS. Yeah, there are as I say, there are fundamental differences between naming systems on blockchains that have smart contracts, and, for instance, what we have with ordinals and the ordinals naming systems, which are quite vast at the moment.
And then, in terms of like guiding a dApp developer that is interested in, integrating BNS, is there anything that, like, what would be the pitch to dApp developers to say, hey, like, this is something that you should definitely consider because this is the value that it would add to your product experience?
I think if you believe in stacks, if you believe in Bitcoin L2s to help Bitcoin scale, to the masses. You know, in order for Bitcoin to be truly scalable, and in order to create and unlock, if you like, the Bitcoin economy, of which stacks I think will be of key importance, then BNS is going to play a key role in that for sure. You know, in having your sort of digital identity on chain, and yeah, I think, you know, it's absolutely key, really. You know, so I think, yeah, BNS is you know, has got a bright future ahead, but we're you know, at the moment, as I say, you know, the community is very new. There hasn't been a community prior to October 2022. So sort of 12 months has passed. We've assembled, you know, and now we're deciding on the future of BNS and how we can move the needle forward and ensure that we don't get lost behind this vast sea of ordinals naming systems.
Can you tell us a bit about the governance process and like how topics are conversed about, and are there regular meetings? Are they open?
Yes.
How are decisions made, I guess?
Yeah, so we have a BNS working group every other week. We have a Discord which has nearly 2,000 community members in it. So things are regularly discussed on Discord. Obviously, in the BNS working group, we have our core developers like Larry and Hank, who will discuss the latest developments and things. And yeah, and also on Twitter as well, we share any updates and things. But you know, wherever possible, we try to get the community fully involved in the decision-making process and the direction in which we take BNS.
And putting my grant manager hat back on, like if you had a blank check, you know, what would be like the top priority thing that you would want to see built or resources allocated towards to help advance BNS?
I think
If you had a
yeah.
blank check.
we need more developers, really.
Yeah.
So, you know, if anybody in the room would love to be involved in BNS development, then that's fantastic. Because really, we only have sort of 2 core sort of developers. Everyone is volunteering as well their time. And what else? Yeah, I mean, we are looking to hopefully develop a BNS Treasury. So at the moment, when BNS names are registered, that the 2 stacks fee is currently burnt. So the hope is in the future with BNS v2, that 2 stacks fee can go into a treasury, a BNS Treasury, which will then help to support development on BNS, marketing and promotional initiatives. And,
that's a great idea.
and it will also give us a degree of autonomy as well, I think, which will be important for us to continue to advance and move the needle for BNS.
Has that been officially proposed as a suggestion?
We've discussed it. The council have discussed it. We need to put it forward to the community to see what they think, to see if they've got any ideas, additional ideas, thoughts as to this. But yeah, we'd love to approach Stacks Foundation.
Yeah, please do. I would like to see those conversations happen in the public and see what type of reception we get. I mean, I think that's a great idea, and yeah, I would like to do whatever we can to help advance that. And so, wrapping up, what's the one call to action? Like, if you were to try to onboard some people in the audience today, like, hey, this is one thing you got to do to like move forward on your BNS journey, what would that be?
So,
join the Discord, go to
yes.
btc.us, get a namespace, or...
Exactly, yeah. Follow us on Twitter, so that's BTC_community. Join our Discord, go and get your BNS names from btc.us. And yeah, and if you're a developer as well, please join us, because we're looking for developers to help us advance and grow BNS.
And how do they join the working group call?
That's a link that's shared in Discord.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Big fan of working groups.
Yes. Yeah, as long as things get done.
Yeah, right. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Well, yeah. Thanks, Will.
Great talking, and thanks all for listening.
Cheers. Thank you.